Wonderful.
Welcome to the world famous
Marley.
San Diego Zoo. My name is Marley, and I'm one of the wildlife care specialists here. Now, the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance is committed to saving species worldwide. We are so glad you guys are here today. We've got some amazing wildlife for y'all to meet. We have 8 conservation hubs all around the world where we focus our impact. We believe the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance that conservation begins with the connection people make with wildlife every single day. That being said, are y'all ready to meet some wildlife?
Yeah.
Go to here. Our first wildlife are coming from our Amazonia Conservation Hub. Our Alliance and Allies focuses on wildlife like Andean bears, New World monkeys, jaguars, orchids, and the habitats that they all share. There's also quite a few bird species out in the Amazon, like the macaw. Now, unfortunately, most macaw species are endangered, but luckily for us here, we've got our own free-flighted flock of macaws here. So turn your eyes onto the skies and welcome those birds on in. Up first, we've got our scarlet macaws, yellow and soul. Most macaw species are named after their
Diego's coming too.
They've got that beautiful scarlet color.
Look at that handsome boy.
Macaws are also social birds. They'll fly about 2 to 30 individuals in a flock. Coming on through, we've got our bachelor Diego. He is a green-winged macaw. As you can see, he's got those beautiful green colors on his wings. Now, macaws use their habitat in the rainforest for shelter and for food. It is so important for them. As I mentioned earlier, unfortunately, most macaw species are endangered. There are things that we can do to help though. Has anyone here ever heard of shade-grown coffee?
Yeah.
Maybe a few of us have. If you have not, a great opportunity to learn. Next time you go to the grocery store, you're looking for some coffee, see if you can find any bags that are either labeled shade-grown or bird-friendly. Like the name suggests, this is coffee that is grown underneath the canopy of the pre-existing trees, so we can help save rainforests for these beautiful birds. Well, they did great, so let's give them one more round of applause as they head on out.
Bye, guys.
Next species we're going to be meeting today helps represent the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance's One Health approach to saving species worldwide. We believe that people, the environment, and wildlife are all interconnected. When wildlife thrives, all life thrives. It's at the core of our mission and the thread that runs through all of our conservation efforts. Now, there's one species in particular that helps exemplify this the most, and that is the canine.
Yeah.
Dogs have lived with us for thousands of years, as companions, as service animals, in law enforcement, and even in conservation. Now, dogs, we utilize them for their superpower, and that is their super sniffer.
Yeah.
Dogs can smell over 1,000 times better than people can. We are going to show that here for you today. We have hidden a scented item somewhere in this presentation area, and our very own canine is going to find it with that superpower. Now, he does need the roar of a crowd, so please welcome on out our canine, Elvis.
Elvis! Where you come? There you are.
There he goes. All right, again,
Elvis,
is looking
Elvis,
for a scented item, or I guess smelling for a
It's like,
scented
I don't have
item
thumbs.
somewhere in this area. I think that's the best time ever. That was great, Elvis. He was right on it today.
That's Ellie.
Now, if you can see, he has found a scented koala. Now, this helps represent one of the amazing conservation success stories the San Diego Zoo has helped out with. Back in 2019 and 2020, there were some pretty devastating wildfires out in Australia. Now, we were able to send some scat-sniffing dogs, that's right, fancy way to say they smelled for poop, smelled for koala scat to help find injured and isolated koalas. Good job.
He literally waits to pee till he gets on stage.
This is not the only area where we have these kind of dogs. Out in our ocean conservation,
Come on,
we
Elvis.
have a dog named Eva, and she smells for orca scat.
There you go, bud.
Pretty incredible. Now, Elvis is not a professional scat sniffer. He might do that in his free time, but he actually had a completely different start here at the zoo. When he was a puppy,
Handsome
he
boy.
was being trained to be a guide dog. Now, this is an extremely challenging program that Elvis did not pass. I know. But he still has a great job. He is a little bit too food motivated. As you can imagine, trying to guide someone safely across the street, he would stop for popcorn along the way. He needed a new job. So he got career reassigned here at the San Diego Zoo, and now he is a companion to our South African cheetah, Ilunga. They've been paired up since they were very, very young. They do pretty much everything together except for eat. As you can imagine, Elvis would be eating all of his cheetah's food. You'd get a really, really chunky dog and a really, really skinny cheetah. Well, they did amazing. Let's give it on up one more time for Elvis.
Bye, guys.
There is plenty of wildlife left to see, and I'm going to pass you on over to my co-care specialist, Jessica.
Bye, Marley.
Thank you, Marley. All right, everybody, are we ready to see Meet More Wildlife?
Yeah.
Yes, awesome. I'm loving the enthusiasm. All right, well, we're actually going to be staying on our One Health approach with our next wildlife ambassador, but she sets this role a little bit differently than Elvis does because she's extremely important for rodent control. These particular animals can eat up to a few thousand mice in a year. So they're definitely needed to help our ecosystems. So everybody please welcome Einstein, our Eurasian eagle owl.
Yahoo!
I always love hearing the oohs and ahs when she comes out here. So I'm going to dissect her
She'll come
name
closer,
a
don't
little
worry.
bit for you all. So Eurasian, they are found in the forested regions of Europe and Asia, and you can tell that by the color of her feathers. She kind of looks like bark on a tree, so she can easily camouflage in those habitat areas. And then eagle. So Eurasian eagle owls are one of the largest species of owls within the owl families, and so eagle are pretty huge. So that is just to kind of describe their name, but of course she is an owl. So as I say that she's one of the largest species of owls, can anybody guess how much she weighs? You can shout out some numbers. 20 pounds. Marley is really strong. 40. Oh, I saw and heard at the same time. She weighs in at a whopping 5 pounds. That's it. I know. Very deceiving. She is completely covered in feathers, of course, but about an inch worth or so. But all birds, they have specialized bones that kind of look like honeycomb inside, and this allows them to be a lot lighter in weight, especially when you're trying to defy gravity and fly. This is very helpful for them. Now, as I said earlier, owls are extremely important for rodent control, so they are all built for that. And majority of their prey items are a lot more active at night because they think that they're safer during that time. But owls, they have adapted to be one of the best hunters during the nighttime. They have really good nighttime vision as well as far-sighted vision. To the point where if you look at her eyes, they are actually fixed in her head. And the reason why they are fixed in her head is because they're so ginormous. This is about a third of her eyeball that you can actually seize. But this is why they have such amazing vision. Now, also, they have what I like to call silent flight. If you look at the end of her feathers, they're a little bit different than the macaws that you saw today. Their feathers are a little bit more streamlined. Owls, they have this extra little fringe at the end of those feathers, and this allows the air to pass right on through, essentially giving them silent flight. So when they swoop on down from the top of the trees, their prey does not even hear them coming. And this is very, very helpful for their next sense, which is one of their best ones, which is their sense of hearing. Not having the noise of them flying impeding on their hearing is very, very helpful. But they have asymmetrical ears, so those little ear tufts on top of there, those are just for show. Those aren't actually where ears are. They're asymmetrical, one kind of towards the top, one kind of towards the bottom, and this allows them to triangulate where their prey is so they can easily listen in the dark to find their prey. And then once they locate them, they're going to swoop on down and use that business end, which are those great big beautiful talons of those. Those are very, very strong. They can basically pop a car tire with those. So Marley here is wearing a lovely leather glove that's got 3 layers of leather in there, and all her job is to act like a nice little tree right there. She's doing a great job. All right, well, she was fantastic out here, everybody. Please give it up for Einstein, our Eurasian eagle owl. All right, so for our next wildlife ambassador, we're actually going to be heading on back to our Amazonia Conservation Hub, where there are many wildlife that need the trees to survive, and this next ambassador definitely fits this bill. He was born right here at the San Diego Zoo 7 years ago, so keep your eyes out for him. You never know where he's going to be coming out, or at what speed he's coming out, or maybe slowly. He might fall asleep coming out too. That is definitely what happens, and he might just do that too.
Tornero.
His name is Tornero, and he's our Linnaeus two-toed sloth. And you know what? We like to practice choice and control here at the San Diego Zoo, and even if they choose to participate, there are levels of participation, and this may be what we get. Oh, I see movement. He's going. He's moving. Look at that speed, everybody. This is about almost top speed. Almost top speed. There we go. So as I said, he was born right here at the San Diego Zoo. His mom, Zena, is a wildlife ambassador as well up in our sister area, the Wildlife Explorers Base Camp. And so that's why we had the amazing opportunity to start interacting with him at about a month of age. He was about like this big when I first met him. And we kind of helped Zena essentially raise him in a way. I like to say that we were kind of like free babysitters for her anytime that she needed a break. That's when we would step in and start building our relationship with him. And so when it was time for him to leave the nest, according to Zena, he was all ready and confident to do so, and then move on down here to Weatherford Bowl to his own territory. And like I said, he is 7 years old, so he is one of our veterans now. So Linnaeus two-toed sloths, there's a couple of different groups. There's the two-toes and there's the three-toes. You can kind of get how you can tell the difference. It's how many toes are in the front of their feet. All of them have 3 toes in them. A lot of them also have that iconic little band around their eyes as well, but the Linnaeus ones do not. But what are sloths known for? It's not a trick question. They're known for being slow. Yeah. As he showed off for all of you in the beginning. So they're known for being slow. And the reason why they are slow, which, you know, a lot of times they don't, or there are some times where they aren't slow if they have to get away from a predator or something like that. But the reason why they're slow is due to what they eat. Basically, essentially all that they eat are little leaf buds and leafy materials. So there's not a lot of energy in those items. And so they're not going to be able to put off a lot of energy. So a lot of their movements are very, very slow. Their digestive system is very, very slow. So everything is just a lot of slow motion. And that's actually one of the ways that they can kind of stay away from predators, is just
picking him his favorite flower. Red are the best.
Sloths mostly sleep about 18, maybe 19 hours a day in pockets of time, not just straight through. But since they do sleep very often, they don't move very often, and they live in high moisture, high rainfall areas, they have been known to grow moss or algae on their fur, and it gives them this nice little green tint to them. So it helps them camouflage in the canopies of the rainforest as well.
Sloth booty.
As you can see right there, Tony, his care specialist, just gave him a hibiscus flower. That is one of his ultimate favorites. Now I will say that he only likes the red ones. We have tried other colors because we have a plethora of different hibiscus flowers here at the zoo, and he only really cares for the red ones. That is his ultimate favorite. Some of the other snacks that he gets here at the zoo are zucchini, yam, jicama, eggplant, broccoli, so a variety of different things, and then of course other type of leafy greens like romaine and kale and spinach as well. And then of course he has a bunch of different trees in his habitat that he can browse upon as one of his primary diet options, because that's what they primarily would be eating out there in the wild. Now, since sloths are all built for living upside down, they've got some really cool adaptations that helps them out. So not only do they have those claws, they can easily grip onto vines in the trees. And you may notice as he's crossing, he moves 1 foot and touches the other one, so to make sure that he has some sure footing.
We're getting somebody else out here.
Before he moves on to the next. But they can also basically hold their entire weight on one leg too. He sometimes will show off his really amazing core, but maybe not today.
Ellie and Justine Beaver, I'm guessing.
A different kind of structure in their abdomen to kind of fix their organs in place. So, you know, when you're upside down, it's a little bit more comfortable for them as well. And then of course, his hair, how it's parted, is a little bit different too. So where their hair is parted is actually from their stomach out. And so it's essentially like a built-in raincoat so that water can fall off of them a lot easier so they can stay nice and dry. So I know that Marley talked about shade-grown coffee with the macaws and how that's been super helpful with conserving our rainforest. But another thing that you can do is to look when you buy your paper products. If they've got the logo of FSC, the Forestry Stewardship Council logo on there, that means that wood or that paper was harvested sustainably. So that is another thing that you can look at when you're out shopping for your paper products, and that will help out many of the wildlife that are in those type of areas. Well, he was fantastic out here. Everybody please give it up for Tornero, our Linnaeus two-toed sloth.
Still hanging out.
And then I'm going to head on over to this adorable lady. She is one of my all-time favorites. She is part of our One Health approach to saving wildlife worldwide because she is considered a keystone species, which means they are a species that is extremely important for keeping ecosystems in balance. And she just wants to show off her splash right there. But that was Justine, our North American beaver. She just celebrated her 16th birthday in June, which is, you know, pretty on the older side for beavers, but she is still definitely moving around and cruising around a lot. But as I said, they are considered a keystone species, and how they do this, how they keep ecosystems in balance, is by building what? What are they known for building? Dams, yes. So dams, kind of damming up water, creates whole other ecosystems for other animals to thrive in. It may be a different ecosystem or a different area for animals to breed in, or it's a water source or feeding grounds or anything like that. So it creates a whole nother world for other animals to thrive in. So there are very, very crucial to have around. They're basically, or essentially, second to us humans in how they affect their environment. So, and that's all by building dams, which is pretty cool. When they are chewing down wood, they don't just use the wood to create these dams and create their homes or lodges. They actually will consume the living tissue off of the trees, which is essentially like the bark or the cambium layer. So they'll chew all those outside edges, and then either they'll use that log to build, or they will shave it completely down into little tiny pieces and create their own bedding as well. Justine does that right here at the San Diego Zoo, so it's really, really cool to see that. We have a great horticulture team here at the zoo that actually delivers us all different types of browse, which is our fancy word for different branches, logs, tree parts, and things like that.
Looks like he fell
a
asleep.
couple times a week, and then it's always fun to see what she does with them. Now, beavers, they are essentially a semi-aquatic mammal, so they spend about 50% of their time in the water, as she's demonstrating for all of you right now. So they're all built for that. They've got back webbed feet to help them steer. They have really, really dense fur, essentially keeping her nice and warm. That water is definitely not even touching her skin. That's how dense that fur is. So that's going to keep them nice and warm. Even though she is a San Diego beaver, we don't get very cold winters, but it is still very, very helpful for her. She also has a third eyelid, which is kind of like a built-in goggle, so they can see underwater. They can walk bipedally too and carry wood that way, or they can carry wood with their mouth too. And they have those iconic teeth of theirs, because if you didn't know this, beavers are rodents. They are actually the largest rodent here in North America. Does anybody know what the largest rodent is I almost said it, in the world? Capybara. Capybara, yeah, there you go. So they have those iconic ever-growing incisor teeth, and if you notice, those incisor teeth kind of have like an orangish color to them because they have iron in their enamel to keep them nice and strong. Because when you're chewing down wood, you need basically a built-in chisel, and that is what those teeth are for them. And then of course they've got that iconic beaver tail, which not only helps them steer in the water, but it's used as a communication device. Beavers live in family groups, and so if there's ever a predator around and they want to alert their other family members while they're busy working, they slap that tail on the water, makes this great big noise, great big splash, and then they'll dive on deep in hopes that their other family members do that too. And then it also alerts other animals, non-beavers, to do the same as well. So they are a really incredible species, and I love working with her, so I'm so glad I get to do that. Well, I think she was fantastic out here. Everybody please give it up for Justine, our North American beaver.
Yay.
She's so cute. All right, well, San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance is creating a world where all life thrives, and never has that been more important. As first responders in their field, we are there applying a century's worth of first-hand knowledge to global conservation challenges. We collaborate, innovate, and inspire to help people and wildlife thrive together for a healthy planet. Conservation is the heart of everything that we do, but we can't do it alone. We need dedicated allies like all of you. If you want to do more, even though you've already done a bunch just by coming here today, you can join the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance by becoming a member. You can help fund some of our projects worldwide, or you can just volunteer your time or knowledge, because your support definitely makes a world of difference, because when wildlife thrives, all life thrives. Thank you so much for joining us here today, and enjoy the rest of your day here at the world famous San Diego Zoo. Bye everybody.
Thank you. The San Diego Zoo 2 o'clock show. Wildlife Wonders. Bye guys.